Hi guys, another mobility session today. After a little bit of feedback, I thought it'd be good to do a session more focused towards running. Now, obviously running can be long, short or middle distance and they're vastly different. But obviously there's a lot of shared commonalities between the whole lot. So we'll just try and focus on that. Lower body mostly, a lot of hamstrings and calves. All that you'll need for today's session is your foam roller. Anyways, we'll just get started with a bit of a warm up. We're just going to start with some shoulder circles, get everything moving, get a little bit warm. Chin stretching. And this is something a lot of people do, shoulder circles, but they don't have very good shoulder mobility. Keep your core engaged when you're doing these so you're not arching like that. Good. And then hands on hips, reaching over the top, keep your chest open to the ceiling, hold the stretch for maybe about 4 or 5 seconds each way. We'll go for 5 of these on each side. Good. And then we'll just go hip circles. Maybe do 10 each way. Chin stretching. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of single leg stuff, working on balance and strength in our lower limb. Stood on one foot, hands up overhead, make sure your core is engaged so you're not arching forward. A little bit of bend at your knees. This is called an arabesque. Slowly hinging at the hip. Try and get as close to 90 degrees as you can. Keep your hips square to the ground. You'll feel a big stretch in your hamstrings as you go into the bottom of this stretch. You may feel your ankles really working to stay stable. That's absolutely perfect. Good. And this exercise is always something I like to do with athletes. It sort of illustrates to them that although they can do something, they might be able to run or jump, they might not be able to do it well. Basically what I do, I get them to stand on one leg, and when they can't do it, I say to them, okay, you can't stand on one leg without wobbling or losing your balance. How can you safely expect to jump or land or sprint using one leg? And it's a good little thing for them to understand it. Okay, feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit of bend at your knees, coming down into a hamstring stretch, and going for twists. So we'll go for 20 twists. Good. And back into the arabesques. Little wobble there. Good. Change legs. last one. Ace. We'll go once more into twists, and then we'll get into some stretching. Ace. So we're just going to come onto our back, do a little bit of hamstring, hip stretches, more static stretches starting now. So, making sure your back's completely flat on the ground. Just going to go for a knee hug to start. And then keeping the knee in the same position, hand going out, the opposite hand pulling your knee across your body for a stretch into your glutes. Okay. Then hands either just below your knees or just above. We're going for a hamstring stretch, so you can have a little bit of bend at your knee, that's fine. Toes pointed up for now. Then we're going to pull our toes down towards our body. Just feel the focus of the stretch transfer more towards your calves. And point, and back, point, and back, point, once more, and back. Good. We're going to go into the opposite leg now, starting with the knee hug. Just hold in, it's quite a basic stretch. Sometimes I find that just doing basic stretches is fine, you don't need to go for anything daft and end up contorting yourself into more and more crazy positions. And going across. Superb. Then we'll go for the hamstring stretch, so toe pointed up to start with. Okay, now we're going to go pull the toes back towards your body, feel a stretch through your calf, and point, and back, and point, back, and point, back, point, and back. We'll go two more, point, back, point, good, and relax there. So we're just going to take our knees up off the ground like so, hands on the inside of your knees, and just gently push down for a stretch. On the inside of your groin and your hip adductors, you can just transfer pressure from one side to the other. And it's quite a passive stretch. You're just letting the weight of your arms push down and gravity do its work. So it shouldn't be too taxing. Good. Okay, we're going to sit up into pike now. And I suppose this one's exercise for your quads and for some of the muscles around your ankles and calves. So make sure you're actually sitting up, like so. You're not rounded back like that. You're going to squeeze your quads to lift your heels off the ground. You'll see there's just maybe about an inch of separation there between my heels and the ground. And from there we're just going to do toe points. Try not to let our heel touch the ground. This doesn't look like much, but it'll soon start to burn. Make sure you're staying sitting up tall. It's quite easy to go like that. You can see my heels are grazing the ground sometimes. Keep going. Muscles in your quads should be starting to light up a little bit now. And then we'll go circles. Still trying to keep those heels from touching the ground. It's getting tougher and tougher. Change direction. Good, and relax. Give your quads a wee shake. Okay, hopefully that's just gotten a little bit more warmth back into the muscles again. Okay, we're going to go for another glute stretch. So cross your legs over like so. Opposite hand is hugging that knee in towards your chest, and you're turning in towards that knee that's crossed over. So we will progress this stretch, but just hold it for a minute now. Good. So progressing it now, we're going to go into pretzel stretch. So it's a little bit tougher. You might not manage it. If you don't worry. This knee is going to cross up like that. And you're just hugging it in there. Same thing. It's quite an advanced stretch this, so don't feel like you have to get into it. I'm still not really all that great at it. I'll swap sides. And as always, just remembering to keep your breathing nice and regular. Let yourself relax. Try and let go of any tension when you're in these stretches. And we'll go for the full pretzel. Superb. Just coming out there. Okay, we are going to go for one more set of stretches, and then we're going to get into the foam rolling. So line around your front. We're just going to start by going into, I suppose, seal pose. There's 101 different names for these, but I call it seal. So hands directly under your shoulders. Squeeze your glute muscles so that this movement's coming from your hips and not just your lower back. Breathe in and then breathe out. Push up there, keeping your shoulders pulled back. Hopefully feel a nice stretch up your front. Good, and then toes on the ground. Into down dog, so keep your back as flat as you can. Feel a nice stretch through your calves and your shoulders. And slowly come back down into your seal. Another thing to think about in this is trying to grow as tall as you can. Imagine there's a little bit of string on top of your head that's pulling you up and back into your down dog. To be honest, I don't do that many of these just because at present on my carpet it's a little bit slippy. I have been thinking about doing these mobility videos outside, possibly in some of the beauty spots or beaches around Orkney, so if you'd like that, let me know and I'm happy to do it. And coming back up. Good. Okay, grab your foam roller. And I think one thing I spot with a lot of the runners I've worked with is, in general, they have pretty tight muscles everywhere, but calves and ankles seem to be a big problem area, so, you know, foam rolling can definitely help. It might not solve the problems. Some of these exercises we've done today are really good, but if you are having real issues in and around your calves, ankles or knees, I'm not your guy to speak to. Go and find a physio or a podiatrist. Okay, so just starting slightly above your Achilles tendon, we're going to be working right the way up our calf. Now, when you're doing this, you can turn your foot from side to side. You might find that the inside's tighter, the outside's tighter. Find the areas that are tightest for you and spend a bit of time working on them. It doesn't take long to find. So I've got one foot on, just using the weight of my leg to bear down in the roller. You can go 2 feet, or if you want, you can even lift your hips off the ground. Normally I'll go 1 or 2 feet. And you'll notice that when I'm rolling, a lot of the time I'm not moving that much. I am trying to find tight trigger points and stay on them, just pulse on them until they give, which means it's not a very active foam rolling session, but it's what I think works for me anyway. And another thing you can do on this as well is when you find a tight point, you can go for maybe 10 toe points and then 10 ankle circles, and it should ease off. Okay, I would normally spend probably about double this time on each leg, but for purposes of the video, we'll move on to the next leg. So if you're following along with this at home, either pause the video or spend a bit of extra time at the end. go for 10 toe points. I've got quite a nasty bit there. Good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that session. It's maybe a little bit different, focusing on running. It's not something that I do much of, and if I do any running, it's never anything more than 100 meters or so. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we shall see you later in the week for some strength and conditioning videos. Cheers guys.